Welcome to Alien Invasion Gaming. My name is Roy, and in this video we take another look at strength leveling. Let's get started. Before we take another look at strength, just a quick note that I do stream on Mixer Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 7:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central. If you have any questions on this topic or other topics about Tarkov, please come by. Also, check me out on Twitter at Regular10. Make sure you drop me a follow to get notified when I go live. And if you'd like to participate on Discord, the link's in the description. When Battlestate Games released patch 12.4 several weeks ago, they made significant changes to how you can level endurance and strength, and I covered the changes in this video here. Since then, Battlestate Games has refined how strength can be increased to make it a little easier on players. Specifically, they've added the ability for strength gain using weight. This video is going to take a look at all three ways to make strength increases, whether it's strong grenades, melee hits, or now the new weight system, and I'll show you the pros and cons of each. Let's start with the first method for skill gain, grenades. I took 60 grenades into an offline raid, and I have graphed the results. You can see that you get significant gain with 20 grenades. You get okay gains with another 10 to bring it to 30. After 30, though, the returns diminish significantly. And again, this is Battlestate Games, diminishing returns system at play. Now, if you decide to go this method, please be aware that it is very expensive. If you throw smoke grenades so that you're stealthy when you're doing this, i.e. you're not making a lot of noise, then it's going to cost you, as of April 12th at least, on average 300,000 rubles for 30 grenades every raid. So, depending on how close or how far away you are to getting to level 3 or whatever your goal is for strength, you really need to factor that into play. If you have a lot of rubles and you want to get the skill gain as fast as possible, then you want to definitely take the grenade method. You want to throw them, you want to then rush to the exit, repeat. That is your fastest way to get skill gain as of right now. The next method I took a look at was melee hits. So I took a friend and gave him a grizzly, took him into a raid, we went off in a corner, and I started hitting his legs. Basically, you can see significant skill gain after 20 melee hits. After that, the diminishing return system kicks in, and you start losing, the effectiveness of that method. I did see more skill gain using melee than I saw with grenades, so take that into account. After about 70 melee hits, though, the return stopped, and basically it just didn't become worth hitting him anymore or healing through that damage. As of April 12th, the cost for a single grizzly is 47k from Therapist, or about 54k on the flea market. Now, if you decided to stay in raid and wait for the diminishing return system to turn off, I think it takes 5.5 minutes to turn off. We did that. I only saw another point or a point and a bit gain. So your time investment for this method is going to be fairly significant. And at this point, I don't recommend, doing multiple sort of melee rounds in one raid. I don't think it's worth the time. I think you're better off, doing your normal raid or exiting and coming back in. But basically, this is a little cheaper method than using the grenade method, as long as you've got a friend who's willing to stand there and take some damage on the legs. The last method we'll take a look at is using the enhancements that Battlestate Games recently made, where you can now use weight to get skill gain. I tested various weight levels to determine what was most effective, and ultimately I landed on 50 kilograms. In fact, over 50 kilograms, I saw a decrease in skill gain. For example, at 60 kilograms, it took an extra 6 minutes for me to get the same skill gain that I'd gotten at 50. Also, be aware that you have to walk in order for the skill gain to occur. If you run, you do not get skill gain. You must be walking. So if you're hoping to work both endurance and strength at the same time, you will not be able to. That may be something deliberately done by Battlestate Games, or maybe it's just a quirk of how the system ended up working. Don't know. Doesn't really matter. The advice is you need to walk. Now, my recommendation is that you load up your secure container with as many heavy items as you can fit. Car batteries help a lot. Some shotgun shells help a lot. Basically, get to a point where you can put 50 kilograms on your body, and I would recommend going into a raid like Shoreline and just start walking from your spawn point to the extraction, and then just keep repeating it. I know this isn't very exciting, but it will give you steady gains with very low recurring investment. You just need to do the initial investment to get the weight, or if you get killed, to rebuy whatever you had in your rig or your backpack or your armor or whatever it is. I don't recommend necessarily trying to raise skill if you're going into Farm Resort or do any sort of PvP action. The weight will slow you down. It's going to use up your stamina more when you're sprinting, so please keep that in mind. And my last advice is if you do decide to use the weight method, i.e. you're going to walk in some map, doesn't have to be shoreline, whatever map works for you, my recommendation is to take along an SKS and some very cheap ammo and just reload so that you're building up your AR skill. That will help you with building up another skill while you're basically walking through the map. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. As normal, please hit like or dislike. It gives me some feedback on the video, whether this content is useful to you. Also, please leave a comment. Let me know what you're doing to get skill gain for strength, or if you have any questions about Tarkov. Also, like I said earlier, if you do have questions, feel free to stop by my stream or ask in my Discord channel. Happy to help out any players with their questions. Well, that's it for this video. By the way, heads up for next week. Next week, I'm going to be taking a look at the recoil skill. So if you're interested in how to level recoil, stop by next week. You'll see my recommendation. Thank you.